Hi everyone, this is Leslie of Succulent Social. I'm out here in the garden today as we will be making some arrangements for a wedding. Our client will be having wedding this weekend and she requested for some arrangement that they could use as centerpiece on their cocktail table, which the guests could also bring home as favors after their wedding ceremony or the reception. She mentioned that she's working on the budget, so that is why we're using more common succulents today. And I just really want to play with this sedum and common jades and common echeverias to see how we could work to work them out together, that they can still present a really good arrangement using the more common ones. Alright, so we'll be using white pots because it's a wedding, and I just asked my husband to put drainage holes into these pots because when we bought them they don't really have drainage holes, and so he just used a drill. But if you don't have a drill, I'm gonna be putting up here a link on how to create drainage holes without drill. And of course you want drainage holes because the succulents, they don't really want to be drenched with water for too long in their pots. I'm also getting our succulent soil mix, which is basically fast draining soil. Again, in terms of watering with succulents, when you water them, we want the water to be flowing out through the soil and out of the drainage holes. Alright, so let's start. I am working on the first one, and basically I just will put first some soil at the base. I'm working here with some succulents that are already rooted, meaning they already have roots in them. If, for example, you're working on cuttings, you could also do that. You just have to make sure that the cuttings are callous and your soil is dry, really, really dry, to encourage them to, build some roots and so that they will not rot. But all of the succulents that I'll be working on today are already rooted. Now when we're making our arrangement, there are of course some factors that you would like to consider, and I'd say one of them would be your color combination. So you can decide if you'd like to use, say, only the shades of green, meaning they're more monochromatic in that sense, or you would like to do a little bit of pop of color, meaning some of the succulents are mostly greens, but you can add in a little bit of pink or a little bit of red, and it just gives a little pop of color to your arrangement. Now there's also this kind of formula that people who make arrangements are using, which is called thriller, filler, and spiller. Thriller are those that are actually a bit stand out in your arrangement. So for example, in this particular arrangement, I'm using the echeverias, which as the focal point. So all of my pots will have echeverias, and the reason I'm doing that is because it looks like flower. The rosette form of echeverias really look like flower, and they're more common for like floral table center arrangement. So that's what I'm after. And then I'm gonna be adding this amendosae as spiller because they stay on the edge and it kind of spills out, and that gives a kind of good effect to your arrangement. And then we also have fillers. So fillers are more of succulents that fill up the remaining spaces, but then they're just not to fill. You could play with texture, you could play with varieties, with height, which is exactly what I'm doing with the jades in here. Now when also putting succulents or making succulent arrangements, it's also good to consider sun requirements of the succulents. And what I mean with that is you have to put together succulents that have almost the same sun requirements. So if, for example, one is lacking more sun than the rest, and you put them in a spot where there's no sun, they will just elongate and it will not be pretty. It will lose the whole look that you initially make them in the first place. So sun requirement is important. The succulents that I have here, they all grow outside. They have the same, they all love the sun. I know that, but I also want the people receiving the arrangements to know that. So in all our products, in all our arrangements, we actually put in a generic succulent care guide at the back of the tags, which just actually tell them where should you put it and how much sun do they need. Yeah, later on I'm going to show you where I'm going to put that. We also want to have succulents that have the same water requirements in a pot, basically because we don't want to make one thrive and the other will rot because of too much water. All of the succulents are happy with the soak and dry method, wherein we actually water them thoroughly and generously, and then we let them, get a good drink again once their soil has dried up. Okay, so I already have most of the arrangements done here, but I'll just be adding some of the white pebbles. And the reason why I want the white pebbles is because it just gives a little bit more of a clean look to the arrangement, and also it kind of make the color of the succulents pop. You know what I mean? And then later on I will just be adding some ribbons around the pot, some white ribbons, because again it's a wedding, which is also the reason why my fillers, which are the sedum, are not completely like spilling out. Sorry, my spillers are not spilling completely out of the pots, because I will be putting ribbons and it might just be contradictory with some spillers. So yeah, and also I'm gonna be adding a tag with the details of the guests, their wedding dates, a simple thank you message that they want for their guest, just to give it a more personalized touch. So what I really want to get across with this video is that you could actually make really good looking succulent arrangements even if you just have more common succulents in your garden. And this is a good idea if you'd like to give gifts to friends, to neighbors, for Christmas, for example. And this is something that could work really well with your budget, and it's a gift that they will not be able to just commonly find in stores because you are making the gift for them. And it's actually more personalized, so look at that. It's looking really pretty and good. I like the color combination, the height, the focal point. Now I will just be adding to this beautiful thing some of the ribbons and the tags. And at the back of the tags, I have already printed generic succulent guide. So the guests who will receive this, they will know how to maintain the succulents. And that is about it for this video. I hope you were able to learn something about making your own arrangement. And again, try it out. It's a great idea and money saving for you as well. And that's it. I hope you like it. Please, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to our channel, or you could also follow us on our other social media pages. Bye for now.